Hello and welcome back. Welcome to Module 1, raising both hands to stimulate San Jiao. Let's begin by revisiting last week, Uji stance, entering stillness. Soften the knees and step out gently with the left foot. Centralize your balance. Quickly do a body scan, making sure that your feet are balanced between the heel and the ball. Your knees are straight but not locked. That the hips are relaxed and the tailbone gently tucked. The spine is relaxed. The shoulders are down and relaxed. The crown is high and the chin is tucked. And let's just close the lips gently and press the tongue gently to the roof of the mouth to connect our circuit with the Renmai and Dumai meridians. Good. Now, let's just sink slightly into our stance, softening the knees, open the arms and gather the chi. Imagine holding the ball of chi in front of the lower dantian, the reservoir of chi. And make sure we're not holding tension, just enough structure in the arms to hold the position, but the shoulders are down and relaxed. Elbows and wrist gently curved as if holding the ball. Fingers spread but not tense, just naturally spread and extended. Good. Let's spend one breath cycle. In through the nose and out through the nose. Now let's lower the hands gently down to the lifting position. Good. Whilst we're here, let's make sure the palms are facing up, the shoulders are down, and the arms are relaxed. Great. Let's just reset the arms and do it again. Spread the arms, sink into your stance, and gather that ball of chi. Relax into this position, as if sitting on a high stool. The arms are relaxed, but structured. Tailbone tucked, crown high, chin tucked, and the body is relaxed. Feet rooting into the earth. Good. Now let's just focus on our breathing, in through the nose, down, into the dantian, and out through the nose, long and steady. In and out. Feel your body relaxing with every breath. Feel the warmth starting to rise in the arms, and in particular the palms, Lao Gung point, facing dantian. As we build up the energy, the chi, in between the palms and dantian. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. If you're struggling to hold such a long breath, you can take shorter, more natural breaths. In, out, in, out. But over time, we are looking to lengthen, steady, and smooth out that breathing. Great. Slow the hands down. And lower the hands to the side. Well done. And we'll prepare to move on to our first warm-up with this module. Okay, let's begin. A focused warm-up for the first section of the Ba Duan Jin. Let's begin by rolling our shoulders, not forcefully. Just relax the shoulders and gently roll them back. Continuously. And while we're doing this, we are feeling the stress, the tension, aches, pains that might have built up during your day. Let's focus on our breathing as we roll the shoulders and try to release the tension. Don't hold on to it, it does not serve you. Let's roll the other way now. Good. Nice and easy. Focusing your attention on the shoulders and feeling any discomfort, and learn to work within your body's natural limitations. Great. Well done. Now bring the hands gently to the shoulders. And if you can, touch the elbows. If you can't, then bring the elbows together as far as you can comfortably do so. We don't want to be holding tension to force it. From this position, let's go down, spread the elbows, and roll up and over. So we're extending the rotation of the shoulder, big circular movements, looking to bring those elbows back together again, or as close as you comfortably can. So this, for example, is fine if that is your limitation. But we want as big a movement as possible and the elbows as close as possible. Let's go the other way. Bringing the elbows together and up and over. Big rotations. No rush. Steady movements. Waking our shoulders up. Enlivening them, ready for the first section of the Ba Duan Jin. Good. Let's float the hands down. Fantastic. Now let's work on the spine. Bring the hands either to the same side ears, to the back of the head if you can, but to here is fine. And we're just going to gently tuck the chin and roll the body, lengthening the spine, and then as we breathe in, unwind like a fern in the morning sun. Let's go again as we exhale, roll, and try to go a little bit deeper. Lengthen the spine before inhaling, vertebrae by vertebrae, until we are fully extended and decompressed the spine. One more time. Tuck the chin, roll, a little bit further if you can, and inhale as we unroll. Good. Let's unwind the arms. Good. Now we're going to look at the sides, stimulating the liver and gallbladder channels on either side and preparing our internal organs for the first section. To begin, let's take the left hand up, turn it palm out, and when we can't reach any higher, although the shoulder stays down, we then roll over with a side bend. Come back up, relax. Other side, and over, and back. Let's do one more on each side. Left hand, up and over, and back. And then the right hand, up, and over. and back, and relax, ready to move on. Fantastic. Now let's move on to looking at the first position of Ba Duan Jin, raising both hands. Now that we've warmed up our shoulders and our back, let's take a look at the positions. To begin, let's just soften our stance and go back to Uchi. And lower gently to the lifting position. Here, our palms should be facing up as if we're holding the ball up. Our fingers are naturally spread. We're not trying to keep them pinched together or forcing them open. And from here, the first movement is to gently slide the hands together, interlocking the fingers. We don't need to be squeezing the fingers together, just let them gently interlock and find a comfortable position. Good. Relax. Back to lifting position. Let's do that one more time. From lifting position, interlock the fingers. Good. Now, we're going to raise both hands. Let's look first of all at the legs. As we raise our hands, we're going to just straighten our legs, rising up slightly, but not locking the knees. When we descend, we just gently soften the knees as if sitting on that stool again. Again, lift and sink. One more time. Lift and sink. Good. Now let's look at the hands. As we lift from the legs, the hands begin to rise. As we pass the middle chest, the hands continue up but roll over. So we can push away up to the sky. Good. We'll move on shortly. Relax. Come back to the lifting position. Sinking. And ready. Lift from the legs and the hands. As we pass the middle of the chest, we roll the hands and watch them as they rise up to the sky. When we can't push our hands any further, we do not want to be bending the fingers. We want the palms flat and the fingers still relaxed. But to continue the stretch, we simply lower the face to look forwards and draw the arms back slightly in line with the ears. Good. Now relax. Allow the fingers to gently separate and float down. As we pass the shoulders, sink and back to the lifting position. Very good. Take a moment to relax. Roll your shoulders if you want to. Good. Let's do it again. Interlock the fingers. Rise from the legs and the hands, rolling over, watching the hands push away up, and then draw back as you look forwards. Release gently. Float the arms down. As you pass the shoulders, sink. Back to the lifting position. Good. Interlock. Lift. Roll. Push away. Watching the hands. Looking forwards. Separate. And sink. Now we want to smooth the movement out. So as we interlock the fingers and we rise, try not to stop at the chest, but to roll. And as we get to the top, rather than stopping, we want to push up. And when we hit the furthest point, we go straight to looking forwards, briefly hold here, and then separate. So there's 2 holds, once at the bottom, and once at the very top. Again, take a moment, relax, roll the shoulders, shake the legs if you need to, before we continue. Especially if these movements are new for you, you might start to feel a build-up of tension, and we want to avoid that. So feel free to shake out and roll out any stresses you might have build up. Good. Let's go back to the lifting position. Interlock. Lift from the legs and the arms. Roll. Watching as we rise. Looking forwards. Pause. Separate. And sink. Well done. Again, interlock, lift, roll, push, pull back, relax, and sink. During this movement, I want you to feel that we're not just stretching the outside muscles of the body, but we're actually lengthening the body and massaging the internal organs. The triple warmer, the San Jiao, the 3 body cavities where our vital organs and the different vessels of qi are contained. So as we draw energy up from the ground and we lengthen the body, feel that stimulation to the internal organs before we then release and relax and let everything fall back into its natural state. Connect, lift, roll, push away, draw back, relax and separate. Again, interlock, lift, roll, push away, pull back, relax, and sink. Good. From here, I invite you to just relax. So just drop the hands down to the side, roll the shoulders, shake the feet, good. Prepare yourself again before we move on to the next stage, where we'll look at the breathing. Okay, you're doing very well. Now let's take a look at the breathing. It is very important within Qigong that we don't just work on the body, but also the breath. That the cultivation and movement of qi, of energy, is a combination of sound movement between the body and the breath. So, what I'm going to start with is just a short cycle of breathing. We will start short and we will start to lengthen it. So just relax. And let's go back to Uji, holding position. From here, with the lips closed, tongue to the roof of the mouth, let's start 2 seconds. Inhale, hold it for a second, and exhale 2 seconds. hold it, inhale, hold, and exhale. Good. That's quite a short breath. Hopefully you all managed that one perfectly well. Now I'm going to move on to 3 seconds in, 3 seconds out. Let's go for a 2-second pause at the top and bottom. Ready? Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Good. Well done. Relax a moment. There is a dramatic difference between 2 seconds and 3 seconds, and if you struggle, feel free to return to 2 seconds. Although we focus on these long, steady inhales and exhales, if you struggle, you can take normal breaths and still maintain a good timing with the movements. I will move on and show you that shortly. For now, let's try a slightly longer breath. We'll try and inhale for 4 seconds. It's important here that when we inhale and exhale, we don't try and take in a sudden gasp of air and fill the lungs too quickly, or to blow the air out too quickly, because then we'll be lengthening the amount of time we are pausing before we inhale or exhale again. So we want a nice, long, steady inhale, controlled breathing, a pause for 2 seconds, and then we release the air, and the exhale is gentle as we push the air smoothly and continuously from the body until empty. A brief pause, 2 seconds is more than enough. Before we inhale again, 4 seconds, pause for 2, and exhale. We're learning how to control our breath, how to still the body, and focus our breathing according to our intent. Let's begin together. Let's return to Uji. Relax the body. Calm the mind. Breathe naturally. And to start with, let's focus on that breath going all the way down to the abdomen, to Dantian, the reservoir of Qi. Good. Now let's begin. And remember, in and out through the nose. Let's inhale. Pause. And exhale. Pause. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Good. Relax. If this is your first time taking such long breaths in and out, then I invite you to take a shorter breath when you need to. So if halfway through the 4-second inhale you struggle, feel free to exhale and inhale before pausing again, ready for the long exhale. And again, on the exhale, if halfway through you run out of air, feel free for a short in before continuing to breathe out for the remainder of the movement. We don't need to be putting ourselves at risk of fainting during these exercises, but a slow, steady progression over time to improve our breath control will be greatly beneficial to you and to your Ba Duan Jin form. So, One more time to the Uji. And breathe in. Hold. And breathe out. Good. Now picture the energy from the earth as you breathe in. You're drawing the energy up from the earth and into the body before exhaling. Pause. Inhale, drawing in that energy. And exhale. Good. Breathe naturally for a moment. Start to feel the rise of energy as we inhale. And as we exhale, feel that energy sinking back to rest at the earth. Ready. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. In your own time, continue with the cycle of breathing. And while we are focusing on our breathing, allow your mind to complete a body scan. As the air comes into the body, feel the organs in your body as the air goes past. Feeling the energy being revitalized within you with each breath. Good. One last time. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. And then gently bring the hands, right hand on top for the men, and for the ladies, left hand on top, to the Dantian. Before we relax, roll the shoulders, shake the legs off, and prepare for the next section. Well done. Okay, fantastic. Let's put everything we've done together and look at how we combine the breath with the hands and the legs. So, let's start from the lifting position. So we're sinking the legs and we come to the lifting position, palms up, fingers relaxed, shoulders down, and make sure we are comfortable and rooted. Now, we discussed how to breathe into the abdomen and how to think about the energy drawing up from the earth. As we do this, we are going to do the arms at the same time. Generally, we would be looking at inhaling on the way up and exhaling on the way down. But to begin, I'm going to look at doing an intermediate stage, which will be to take a breath in and out and in and then back down. Work with me and we'll see how we feel and we'll progress to the next stage. So from the lifting position, let's start off lifting as we inhale. As you pass the center, you can exhale. As you reach the top, we would inhale, then exhale, and if you need to, you can inhale again. Exhaling at the bottom, ready to inhale and start again. So that would be the short breath. I didn't focus on the technicals of the hands, because I just wanted to talk through the breath. But now, let's put together that breath with the hands that we've done. From the lifting position, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, in, out, in, out, in, out. Good. How did you find that? If you could manage that, let's try for the longer breath now. Breathing in all the way up, and then having that pause at the top. Exhaling all the way down with a steady breath, pausing at the bottom. It will be between 3 and 4 seconds depending on your own pace. So I'm not going to be counting the time, but I'm aiming for 3 to 4 seconds. So if you want to work with me, or feel free to go at your own pace if you struggle. Ready to begin? From lifting position, interlock the fingers, and inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. And then relax the hands. Correct position. Roll the shoulders, shake your legs up if you want to. Well done. You're doing very, very well. Now, take a moment to relax and get back to a natural state of breathing before we move on. Fantastic, you're all doing really well. Now, let's take a look at a few common adjustments and corrections that we find within this first section of the Ba Duan Jin. Let's begin with the lifting position. At the start of this position, when we come from the holding position, and at the end when we come down, it is not tempting, but it is common to let your focus drift and for the hands to end up palm to palm. We want to maintain the lifting position. We're looking to draw energy up from the ground through the body. So it's important that rather than the hands coming palm to palm, as we come down, we return to the palm up position, ready to lift. Palm to palm, you might drop the ball of energy. You want to hold it up. This is really important to start with. So let's just take a moment and make sure we return palm up. Let's go through again. Palm up. Anytime you want to return to this section and just practice and let your body learn this position, you can do so. If we continuously repeat a movement so that our body remembers it, we may not need to focus on it as much with our mind. Repetition is key. Let's move on. As we raise, so we interlock fingers and we raise. It's common to stop, turn the hands, and then try and push up. But what I want you to work on is that as we pass the middle of the chest, think of rolling a ball. So it's not stop, turn, and then lift. It's to lift, rolling over a ball and lifting. So again, take a moment just to practice that movement so that we have this continuous flow. Lifting, rolling, and moving. So the motion is continuous. Although it looks like I paused briefly in the midsection, you see that my hands are continually moving, but with this little turn, rotation in the middle. But the hands don't stop on the point and turn, they roll to continue the movement. Brilliant. Let's progress. When we push up, commonly we lift the shoulder. We think this is what we're trying to do, and we keep our ears warm with our shoulders. But in actual fact, what I want you to work on is to keep the shoulders down whilst we straighten the arms. It sounds counterintuitive, but it will become much easier in time. The elbows want to be straight, but not locked. We don't want to be damaging the elbow. When we lock a joint, we have to use force to bend it again. When we straighten it but don't lock it, we can relax it more easily. So when we put it together, the relaxation of the shoulders, the straightening of the elbows, but not locking. Good. Now let's look at the hands. When we reach the top, again, it's something you may feel you should do, but we want to correct it. And that is, we don't want to be bending the fingers back. If you can see this on the camera from here, this is me bending the fingers back. From here, you see the fingers arching. We want the palms to be flat, with the wrists bent. We want to avoid straightening the wrists and bending the fingers. So palms flat, wrists bent. Elbows straight but not locked. And when we are ready to return, don't pull and pull and pull and then let the arms flail out. This runs the risk of injuring your shoulder. Instead, from this position, with the relaxed position already, just focus on relaxing the hands, and the fingers will gently separate and allow you to float back down to the lifting position, ready to start again. Well done. And relax, ready to move on. Okay, fantastic. Now it's time to put it all together. Right now, we know our Uji stance. We know how to open from the ready position to the Uji. And to begin, now we're going to do 6 repetitions of the raising 2 hands section, because that is going to be the complete first section. So, once we have done it, we may repeat it a second time, but feel free to repeat this again and again in your own time, as often as you need to feel comfortable. So, to begin, start with the feet together, and we would begin with the right hand on top for gents, left hand on top for ladies, and we bow in, lower the hands, sink the weight to the right foot, lift the left leg, heel, toe, half step out, centralize the weight, and gather the chi to the holding position. 1 breath cycle. In, out. Steady the breath. Lower the hands, Interlock the fingers. Rise. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Sink. And gather. Pause. Interlock. Inhale. Exhale. Interlock. Inhale. Exhale. Fourth time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last time. Interlock. Inhale. Exhale. And to close from here, we're simply going to open, gather the chi, and bring it back to Dantian. Bring the left foot in, and bow out. Relax. Okay, take a moment, relax, and we'll do it one last time with less talking from me, and you just copy along, and again, feel free to come back and return to it whenever you want to. Let's begin. Feet together. Begin with a salute. Open your stance. One breath cycle. Steady the breath. Lower the arms. Let's begin. Drawing the energy up from the earth. Offering it to the heavens. And returning. One more. Lower the hands. Gather. Finish this session, bring the feet together. We'll do the salute. I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you for doing this first module of Ba Duan Jin Foundations. Please revisit this as often as you want to practice or just to recap the knowledge base. And I look forward to seeing you again next week in Module 2. Thank you.